Hey all, my name is Paul Borosky and I am the owner of Quality Business Plan, and what I'd like to do today is show you all how to customize a basic profit and loss / cash budget template to use in a day spa business plan. So without further ado, let's go ahead and mosey on through this handy dandy little PowerPoint presentation that I've got prepared for y'all. So first and foremost, in order to customize a financial projection template, we actually need a financial projection template. So y'all can go ahead and purchase one from my website, which is qualitybusinessplan.com / financial projections for a business plan. And then once you're at that website, what you're going to do is you're going to scroll down to where it says downloadable basic profit and loss and cash budget template. And once you're at that section, go ahead and purchase the template. And then once you do that, what you'll do is you'll download an Excel file. And let me go ahead and hide this information here. And when you download that Excel file, it's going to look similar to this. You'll have two tabs, a profit and loss tab and a cash budget tab. And once you fill out the profit and loss tab, 90% of the information for our cash budget tab will already be filled out for us. All right, so let's go ahead and start modifying this profit and loss statement to use in a cash budget, in a day spa business plan. So first step, what y'all are going to do is you're going to go ahead and add what I call an advanced section. In that advanced section will be revenues and labor. And underneath revenues, you're going to go ahead and label the columns product, prices, and variable cost. And then for labor, you're going to label it employees, hours, rate, and total. All right, so for the revenues here, what I've done is I've gone ahead and filled in various products that you may, or products or services you may offer in your day spa business. And for this example, we're doing massages, skin treatments, hair, and nails. So once we have the products or services identified, we're then going to go ahead and go to prices. So for this example, we're going to say massages are $150, skin treatment is going to be $75, hair might be $80, and then nails might be $50. Average prices we're looking for. Next thing we need to do is we need to fill out our variable cost. Our variable cost is how much it costs us to provide each service. So for massages, we might need massage oils, and that might be, let's say, it's going to be $7 for variable cost. Skin treatments, we're going to say, we'll say it was $6 for skin treatments or the variable cost. Hair, we've got our shampoos, we might have some colors. We're going to go with maybe $9 for variable cost. And then for nails, we'll have our nail polish and that kind of good stuff. And for nails, we're going to say our variable costs are going to be $4. So once we have our revenue section completed with the prices, average prices for each service provided, and the average variable cost, we then need to figure out what the total average is for revenues. To do that, we're going to go to the total section. We're going to type in equal sign, type in sum, open up a parenthesis. Then we're going to highlight all of our variable costs, and we're going to close our parenthesis. Hit enter, and now we've got the total prices. We're going to do the same thing for variable costs. Hit the equal sign, type in sum, open up a parenthesis, highlight all of our variable costs, close the parenthesis, and hit enter. The next step is going to be we need to calculate the average price. So we're going to hit equals. We're going to go ahead and type in average. No, actually, we're going to type in equal sign. We're going to click on total. Then we're going to divide it by the number of products or services that we have. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4. Since we have 4 services, we're going to divide it by 4. And we're going to do the same thing for variable costs. We're going to click on the $26. We're going to divide that by the number of services. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're going to divide that by 4. The final step for this section right here is we need to go ahead and calculate our variable cost as a percentage. So to do that, we're going to hit an equal sign. Then we're going to divide our variable cost by our average sales price and hit enter. And that gives us an average variable cost of 7%. So now the revenue section is done. So let's go ahead and let's start doing our data block here that's going to start tying into our template. So for this right here is the data block. We're going to go ahead and do the tax rate. We're going to estimate our tax rate is approximately 20%. It could be a little bit higher, it could be a little bit lower. It's up to you. But we're going to just, for this example, we're going to run with 20%. The next section is going to be interest on loans. We're not going to put in principal that we pay back in the loans. We're just interested in the interest on the loans. So for this example, we're going to say that we pay $300 in interest every month on loans. The next section that we need to complete is going to be for the revenues and costs. So the first one right here is average sales price. Well, we've already calculated that, so we'll type in an equal sign, and we'll go down here, and we'll click on this cell right here, and it's this is for the average, and it's underneath the column prices, and we'll hit enter. Then what we need to do is we need to figure out what the number of sales per day are going to be. So how many customers do we think we're going to have, or how many services do we think we're going to provide? So we're going to go with 15. We think we're going to have 15 customers, and they're going to have one service each. The next thing we need to figure out is the number of work days in a month. So if it's a one-person job, then we might work maybe 20 days in a month. If we have 3 or 4 employees, then it's going to be 30 days. So we're going to run with 30 days. The next section is going to be variable cost as a percentage. Well, fortunately, we've already calculated it right there. So we'll hit the equal sign. We'll click on variable cost as a percentage and hit enter. And that's automatically populated. The next thing we need to do is complete our fixed cost. So with the fixed cost section, the first thing we run into is salary and labor. So we need to break down our salary and labor. So for and that's where this section right here in the advanced section comes in for the labor. So I've got the first line is always my salary. So we're going to say we're going to pay ourselves $2,500 a month. And let's say for employees, let's say we're going to have, now this is going to be on a monthly basis. So we're going to say we're going to work 172 hours. And for 172 hours, that would be 40 hours times, we go right over here. We've got 40 hours in a week, and we've got 4.33 weeks in a month. So we'll hit equal signs, and we'll multiply that by that. So we'll go with 100, and we'll round it up, 174 hours. So we're going to go with 174 hours, for a month. And the rate of pay, we're going to say that our rate of pay is going to be $10 an hour. And once we do that, then what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and multiply our $10 an hour by the hours for the month, and that'll give us 714. And so this is for employee 1. And let's say we're going to have 3 employees. And we'll do the same thing with 174 hours, 174 hours. And then let's say each one of them is still going to get $10 an hour. And then what we're going to do is we're going to do the same thing. We're going to multiply it. And just to save a little bit of time, we're going to go to the bottom right-hand corner, and we're going to drag down. And so what this says is that we have 3 employees, and they work full-time, and they get paid $10 an hour. And here's the total. So what we'll do here now is we need to total up just the employees. So we'll type equal sign, sum, open up a parenthesis, and we'll highlight all of the employees' monthly pay, close the parenthesis, and hit enter. And then the final step right here, because now we've got our employee total, we've got our salary for management. We're going to type in the equal sign. We're going to add the $2,500 for our salary plus the employee total. We'll hit enter. And so now what we have here is total labor of $7,720. So we'll go back up to our template right here. We'll hit an equal sign next to salary and labor. We'll click on that total, 7,720, and hit enter. And now that's got our fixed cost. And then for rent and utilities, we're going to say it's about $2,500. Advertising, we're going to say we're going to spend about $750. Insurance, legal, and other, we'll go with $500, and miscellaneous, we'll go with $250. So once we get that information in there, we now have to go ahead and add in our growth rates. So we've got our total revenues at $39,938. We now need to estimate how much we think our revenues are going to grow on a monthly basis. For this example, we're going to say we're going to grow our revenues at 3%. Next is going to be our fixed costs. Now, for the most part, our labor and our salary are not going to change. Our insurance and legal is not going to change. So we're just going to say that we're going to increase our fixed cost by 1% because our utilities might go up, our advertising might go up as well. So it's not going to grow as fast as our revenues. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to say our monthly fixed cost is 1%. So now that we've completed this column right here, our profit and loss statement for our day spa is now filled in. And so what this shows is that for month one, we expect revenues of about $39,900. Our expenses are going to be about $11,700. That gives us an earnings before interest and taxes of $25,200. And after we deduct our interest expense and our taxes, we now have a net income of $19,994. Once we throw in the growth rates for revenues and for cost, that'll change the next 12 months. And then once we're done with that, this template right here is going to add together our first year annual revenues, and it'll also add together our net income as well. Once we're done with that, we can then go to our cash budget to see how much, if we're going to need additional funding throughout the year. So in order, when we go over to the cash budget tab, 90% of the information is already going to be filled out right here. So what we're doing is we're taking all the information from our profit and loss tab, and the template pulls it over to here. The only information we need to do is we do need to add two pieces of information. First, we need to go ahead and identify what our cash sales as a percentage is going to be. For a lot of organizations, the day spas, they do the credit sales is probably about 50 to 70%. As lately as it's really been real low with the cash sales. However, for credit sales, usually we get it credited into the account in about 5 to 7 days. So what I recommend for the day spa is to go with about 80% cash sales, because even though there's a lot of credit sales, we still get paid for the credit sales within that same month. It's that last week that we might have to wait. So go with cash sales at 80%, in my opinion. The next thing we need to identify is how much cash we're going to have in the bank once we start operations. For this example, we're going to say $10,000. So when we do that, our annual cash budget shows that at the end of each month, we're going to have a positive cash flow. We're going to have positive cash balances. Now, this is beneficial because we can then decide when we want to go ahead and expand, or when we might want to go ahead and increase advertising based on what our projections are. So, for example, right here, we might want to hire 2 or 3 more people because our ending cash starts to go up. So we anticipate having extra funds that we might want to go ahead and invest. Also, what we can do to change this up a little bit is if we expect cost in the next 12 months, for example, in month 5, we want to go ahead and expand to the section next to us, and it's going to be $150,000 for the expansion. Then that tells us in month 5, we're going to need funding of about $13,000. So this is another great usage of the annual cash budget for a day spa as well. So hopefully this little structure is helpful, and y'all are able to see how we can go ahead and modify a cash budget template to use in a day spa business plan. So in summary, make sure to follow a proven format. So you have your day spa business plan already written. Now you need to go ahead and customize the template. Follow this proven format right here. 90% of the work's done for you. You have to add a couple different sections, but it's going to get you where you need to be for your profit and loss and your cash budget needs. And finally, if you need some help with using this template, or if you just want me to go ahead and build you a financial model, don't hesitate to contact me. Again, my name is Paul Borosky. And here is my email, and here is my number. You can give me a call, send me a text. I'd be absolutely delighted to assist. So hopefully this information is helpful. And if you all need some assistance, give me a shout. And if you like the video, give me a thumbs up. Thank you.